Hello and welcome to the Machona Podcast. And today we have a very important topic to discuss, and that is self-care and its profound significance to our lives. Now, self-care has become a buzzword lately, but what does it truly mean? And why is it crucial to our overall well-being? Before we get on to this discussion, let us take a moment to reflect on the world we live in today. We are constantly connected, bombarded with information, expectations, and societal pressures. It's easy to lose sight of ourselves in the midst of chaos. That's where self-care comes in, because it acts as a lifeline, pulling us back to our center and reminding us to prioritize our own well-being. Now, self-care is often misunderstood as indulging in luxurious activities or treating oneself to material possessions. While those things can be enjoyable, self-care runs much deeper. It's about nourishing our minds, bodies, and spirits on a regular basis. It's carving out intentional time and space for ourselves, treating ourselves with kindness and listening to our needs. When we neglect self-care, we start to feel the consequences. Our mental health suffers, stress levels rise, and we become disconnected from ourselves and others. But when we prioritize self-care, we create a solid foundation for our overall well-being. So how can we incorporate self-care into our lives? The first step is recognizing that self-care is not selfish. It's a necessity. Just as we need to recharge our electronic devices to keep them running smoothly, we need to recharge ourselves as well. It's about filling our own cup so that we can show up fully for others. Now, self-care is unique to each individual. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. For some, it may involve engaging in physical activities like exercise, yoga, dancing, or even playing sports. For others, it may be finding solace in quiet moments of meditation or journaling. And for others, self-care might simply mean saying no to things that drain their energy and setting health boundaries. Now, self-care also extends beyond the individual level. We need to foster a culture that values and promotes self-care. This means advocating for workplace policies that prioritize employee well-being, destigmatizing mental health discussions, and supporting each other in our self-care journeys. When we invest in self-care, we reap the benefits not only in our personal lives but also in our relationships, work, and overall happiness. By taking self-care, we become better equipped to navigate life's challenges and embrace its joys. Now, remember, self-care is an ongoing practice, not a destination. It's about cultivating habits and rituals that support our well-being. So let's start today by committing to prioritize self-care in our lives, one step at a time. So the discussion that we've had about self-care might sound an easy task, but in actual sense, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of self-reflection, because you have to first of all understand what is causing your stress, or what is causing you to have moments of distress, so to speak. And once you figure out those causes or triggers, then that is when you're going to try to find a way of coming up with solutions. Now, coming up with solutions also depends on what kind of a person you are. There are people who need to maybe have a quiet discussion with someone for ideas. There are also people who can maybe just take time off, maybe from work or from whatever the stress is, and just reflect or recharge their batteries, and it works for them. But it's all about finding who you are inwardly, and then trying to figure out how you can navigate through the issues that you're going through. And even for others as well, if you see someone stressed, please do take time to speak with them one-on-one and see how you can be able to advise or help them through whatever it is that they might be going through. In the end, we all live to be happy, and we all want to live a stress-free life. But as we mentioned at the beginning, life comes with a lot of demands, and that's where we end up trying to fulfill a lot more than we can handle sometimes. And sometimes it's not about us. Sometimes it could be about others as well. You have maybe broken relationships where you feel your partner or former partner is trying to drag you down. The best solution is to, I guess, as they say, forgive yourself, forgive others as well. And that's where you start to heal. And once you start to heal, then you start to look at life in a different light. Once you start to do that, then you would begin to notice the cracks that might be appearing, and you'll be able to mend them as quickly as possible. So this has been it from me. So remember, your health matters. Your mental capabilities also are very important, because that is pretty much your engine, so to speak. And so do look after your mental health. And if you are being stressed, take time off, reflect, reboot, and then go back to whatever it is that you're doing. And also find ways that you can do your tasks in a more relaxed manner. You can't care for others if you are unable to care for yourself. So put yourself first, and then you'll be able to look after others as well. So that has been it from me, and we'll see you next week.